The night fell upon my heart like an uninvited memory, whispering of her, of the past, of the smiles I buried. Every silence became a mirror where I saw her fading, and every breath reminded me that love was once real. In the garden of pain, I knelt among my shadows, planting tears where laughter once bloomed free. The soil was dry, yet my grief watered it faithfully, until from every scar, the grass of wounds began to grow. How tender the ache that never sleeps! How patient the sorrow that knows no season! I looked upon my heart and saw a battlefield, where promises lay broken like glass under moonlight. She said goodbye not with words, but with distance, her absence louder than thunder in my chest. I called her name across deserts of regret, but even the dunes refused to echo her sound. Every dawn mocked me with its innocence, for the sun knows nothing of human ache. I have seen light, but none that could heal, for even light trembles before the truth of loss. Grass of wounds grows where her footsteps ended. It grows over time's cruel tenderness. It hides the pain, but it does not heal it, like a green lie upon the grave of memory. My soul walks barefoot upon that grass, each blade cutting deeper, yet feeling divine. To love her was to bleed with purpose. To lose her was to learn eternity's cruelty. I still see her shadow at dawn's horizon, bending like a sigh before vanishing again. Every heartache carries her fragrance. Every tear holds her reflection, shy and unbroken. I wonder, did she ever cry for me? Or did her laughter bloom where my pain began? I gave her everything I could not keep, and she left me with everything I cannot forget. There was a time my heart knew no fear, but love taught me bravery's fragility. To love is to surrender to the storm, and to survive is to find poetry in the wreckage. Grass of wounds grows even where light fades, because sorrow, too, loves the company of beauty. I've seen roses bloom on graves of betrayal, and smiles, born from the ashes of tears. If pain had a melody, I would hum it nightly, composing verses beneath her vanished stars. The desert wind recites her name to me, turning my loneliness into prayer. O God, why do I still dream of her return? Why does hope refuse to die even when I command it? Is love truly eternal, or merely stubborn? For mine persists like roots beneath frost. Once, I believed love was fire. Now I know it is grass. It bends but does not break. It hides but never truly dies. Each wound upon my heart became fertile, and sorrow, the gardener of my soul, I did not seek to heal, I sought to remember. For remembrance is the noblest kind of pain. There are nights when her laughter haunts the moon, and I envy the wind for touching her hair. Her silence became my religion, her absence my endless pilgrimage. Grass of wounds grows, whispering forgiveness, though my heart never asked for peace. It only wanted to be understood once. By her eyes, by her soul, by her love. I once wrote her name in the sand. The tide erased it with gentle cruelty, so I carved it upon my heart instead. Where no ocean could reach, yet pain could. She was the dream that never woke, the whisper that never faded with dawn. I keep her memory like sacred incense, burning softly in the temple of solitude. How fragile are the promises we make! How eternal the pain they leave behind! She said, "Don't cry," before she left. But her words became the reason I still do. The stars above me wear her reflection. Even the heavens seem to mourn my heart. I walk among constellations of remembrance, each one spelling her name in silence. Grass of wounds grows where my tears fall, each drop a confession I could never speak. Even in grief, beauty finds its place, for love, when true, transforms every sorrow. I have spoken to my own shadow, asked it to forget her face, it refused. Even the darkness remembers her outline. Even the moon pities my persistence. She once said I was her forever, and forever ended in a single moment. Now eternity tastes of her perfume, lingering in places she will never return. The palace feels empty though the lights still shine. my throne colder than the marble beneath it. I am a king without peace, a lover without closure, reigning over memories instead of people. Grass of wounds grows on royal floors, covering pride with the humility of heartbreak. For love makes beggars of kings, and poets of broken men. I write her name not for the world to see, but for my heart to believe she was real. Sometimes I think the world was created just to teach me the meaning of her loss. How strange that I still thank her in silence for teaching me the beauty of imperfection, the holiness of longing, the poetry of pain. Grass of wounds grows, uninvited, between yesterday and forevermore. It reminds me that pain, too, breathes life. That sorrow, too, can be soft and green. She was my sun, but I learned to glow in twilight, my soul finding rhythm in her absence. Perhaps some loves are meant to wound, to carve eternity in the fragile heart. Every poem I write is her echo, every silence her reply. I am both poet and prisoner of this love, living in verses that never end. I watch the sky break into morning, yet inside me, it is always dusk. The horizon carries her reflection still, though my eyes have long forgotten peace. Grass of wounds grows, covering time's cruelty, making pain look almost beautiful. It tells me healing is not forgetting, but learning to love the ache that remains. She will never know how I still whisper her name in the chambers of the wind. She will never feel how my heart trembles at the thought of her unseen smile. O love, cruel yet divine, why do you dwell in me like fire and stone? Why must I bleed for beauty to bloom? Why must wounds become gardens? Even angels envy the endurance of a heart that keeps loving even when it's broken. Even time bows to those who remember, for memory is stronger than years. Grass of wounds grows where tears fall slow, where love refuses to die quietly. And I, the keeper of its field, walk barefoot through the past each night. My soul hums her lullabies to the moon, though she no longer listens. My dreams are stitched with her laughter. Yet awake, I carry her absence like armor. She once said I was too strong to break, but even steel weeps under rust. And so I break, not loudly but deeply, a quiet collapse beneath a golden crown. Grass of wounds grows even in silence. It grows in letters I never send, in prayers that never end, in poems that never heal. I forgive her, though my heart still bleeds. Forgiveness, too, is a wound that flowers. Perhaps God writes love stories in tears, and reads them back in eternity's voice. If one day she reads these words, may she know they were written in devotion. May she see her reflection in my grief, and understand what she meant to my soul. Grass of wounds grows not to hide sorrow, but to prove it once lived. Every blade whispers, he loved her truly. Every breeze carries my silent confession. Let the world forget my name, but not the love that built these lines. Let the earth cover me with mercy, and let the grass grow still, for I have made peace with my pain. Grass of wounds grows, endlessly, turning heartbreak into remembrance. And I, Sheikh Hamdan, stand amid the field of my own heart, watching beauty rise from what was broken. Forever a lover, forever a poet, forever beneath the tender shade of wounds that learn to bloom.